Okay, welcome Toni. Toni's from Silvermist Management. Toni is also part of, for those of you who know her, is part of our VA Institute. I got a flight. It's part of our VA Institute team, and so she's a fantastic resource that we've grabbed onto, and I really appreciate her work. So Toni, you're our VA in the spotlight today. What I wanted to talk to you about and certainly get your insights on is, a bit about you. What's led you to setting up your VA business? I think, how long ago did we do the training, do you think?
Is it about 18 months ago now, I think?
Possibly. Yeah, it goes quick.
So actually, it might be a bit longer.
I think it was last year. It was most definitely last year, yeah. So it was definitely since June. I know that last year. Tell me like a little bit about what brought you into VA world, and start with that. Tell us about that.
So I have a quite a diverse background, but I have a real passion for sales, and I am a mum of a 14-year-old, and who during her early years I wasn't able to work, and was her primary carer. So she's in high school now, she's in year 8, and I was working with somebody and it just wasn't the right fit, and I was looking for something else. And I don't even know how I came across the VA Institute, but I did, and it has led me into an industry that I'm super passionate about and I really love, and my business has grown in leaps and bounds. And I guess I was doing a little bit of VAing as well, which wasn't really, I didn't really call it VA. I was just helping out, clients that I would call clients now, just doing a bit of PA and EA stuff. And but now I'm a virtual assistant, and I'm very clear on what I do and what I don't do. And here I am 18 months later, and I absolutely adore what I do. I love my little business. I love my roles with my clients, and I love being part of the VA team. Such a cool team.
And we likewise, we love having you, and we love having you as part of the mastermind network, because you can always come back with some definite comments to people and help everyone out. It's very collaborative.
Yeah.
So when you first got started, tell me a little bit about your first clients and how, or even before that, how did you get clients? How did it kind of, what was any tricks that not tricks, but what are your takeaways for getting clients in those early days? Because I know people struggle with that when they get started.
Yeah, and I think it's a really hard thing because a lot of people find it hard to put themselves out there. I think that is one of the things. I've never kind of been backwards about coming forwards, and I'm pretty confident, and I believe in myself. And I think that's one of the takeaways that I think people need to know. You have to have that belief in yourself and be authentic. And when you're authentic, it's, people, they know that. They know you're being authentic, and they know that, if someone says to me, can you do this? I go, no, I can't do that, but I'm happy to learn. You have to be honest, I think.
I love that when you say that, because that's so important, isn't it? And it would help you build your own confidence, is, being honest with people about that stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you don't know something, it's okay to say you don't know it, because we can't know everything, and it's okay to learn. And, things like YouTube and Google are a VA's greatest asset, really, because we can find things, and we can, we live in a virtual world, so we need to tap into those things as well. I guess my first client, who was already a client before I did the training, I actually found on Airtasker, which is unheard of.
We actually hear a lot of people, there's not a lot of people who say they got a client through Airtasker, but you'll hear a lot of people bag Airtasker out. So tell me about that process. Like, how did you get a client through Airtasker?
Okay, firstly, she was local to where I lived, and she wanted someone who could visit her but also do stuff remotely. So that worked really well. And she's an interior designer, and so sometimes it was a bit of PAing, like going to pick up samples, paint samples or tile samples or whatever it was, and take them back to her. And so it was really, so on Airtasker it was about, I think the thing she liked the most was that I was a woman, number one, and that I was local. So and I worked for her for about 6 months, I think. And she really taught me as well the values that I wanted in clients and maybe some of the values that I didn't.
Yep.
I think that was a really good thing. And what my ideal client was. And so I don't work for her anymore, but she's still close by and I see her, and she's got a couple of puppies that I like hanging out a bit too, and Frenchies, they're very cute. So that was my first client, and my second client I also got through Airtasker because I had zero experience. So because I had zero accounting experience with my husband's business, and I was a woman again because she had all these people that were men bidding.
Yep.
And so she was also close by, and our first meeting was face to face, and now she's one of my clients still.
So do you search for people who are close by to you on Airtasker?
I do a 50k radius.
Right. Okay. So
yeah,
that's a good point too.
Yeah, I think sometimes they feel a bit more confident having someone that's close.
Yeah.
And I've had a couple of one-off tasks on Airtasker as well, but I'm not on it a lot anymore. I'm on Upwork.
Yeah.
As well, and but yeah, they were my first two clients, and so the second lady that I got through Airtasker, she's an ongoing client, and she's recommended me to two other people.
Oh, fantastic!
Yeah, so I think word of mouth.
Yeah. Which we talk about. Word of mouth is the best referral source ever, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So that was my journey. And I
came to work with us as well.
Yes. And then I got this amazing client who teaches other people to be VAs. And she's awesome and the team's awesome.
Yeah, it's a good little team. So tell me a little bit about, because, you've been a VA and before COVID started, right? So tell me about how, you were able to, because I know we talked about this, about work dropping off and, even we slowed down a bit.
Yeah.
So how has that kind of played out for you in your business?
So initially I think there was definitely my business slowed down. I'm pretty resilient and I didn't really let it get me down. I think that was the most important thing. I just kept going and kept trying to find other clients. Well, it's not really post-COVID, is it? I think it's...
Yeah. But it's different, isn't it, right?
Yeah. So before COVID, I think before COVID, one of the things that was hard was explaining to people that you could work virtually. I think now during COVID, people are understanding that we're a great resource. They really are. And Australian VAs are a great resource. So my business slowed down. I probably dropped down to about 50%. So
you were still working with your clients, right? So you were able to scale down for them, right?
I scaled down. And I think the main thing I learnt was just be flexible, because we were all going through the same thing, and being flexible and understanding really made a difference. One of my clients, I was doing about 10 hours and I dropped to 4. One of my other clients, however, is in the online learning space. And so they got busier.
Yeah. Yes.
They got busier. So some of the hours that I reduced, I picked up on the other end. But I think the thing that I learned the most is being able to, and everyone uses this word, and I don't think it's the right word, but pivot.
Yes.
And learn new skills. I spent a lot of time on Canva. But learning, now something that would have taken me an hour to do can take me 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Because I spent that time diversifying a little bit and learning new skills.
Yeah. Oh, that's so true of a lot of people that we've seen in the industry.
Yeah.
And we've seen whole new kind of service areas come out. People are doing a lot, like you said, a lot. The online learning space has grown dramatically, just the same as online meetings, for example, running those events online. What else have we seen? A lot of CRM work, so people needing those automations. So a lot of growth in kind of areas that weren't maybe as popular before. But the whole thing, like you said, is the ability to, we don't have to explain ourselves to people that it is possible to work remotely anymore.
Yeah. And I think too, I was having a conversation with someone the other day, and I said, we're more time efficient. So we're quicker. We can do 8 hours work in 4. Really, because we're not traveling to work, we're not having the distractions in an office, and we just turn our computer on in the morning and see what the tasks are and go through them and get them done.
Yeah, no, true. Huge benefits. So one thing I wanted to just ask you about is networking. So do you have any particular networks that you find you're part of, or are you more just sort of on those Airtasker, Upwork and other spaces?
I don't network as such. I'm on, obviously all the Facebook groups, and actually I'm on Facebook groups that are local as well, and things come up on those. Even today, one of the local mums pages, someone was looking for someone to write a resume, not my area. Sorry, not my skill. But I was able to recommend someone from being in our Facebook groups and part of the VA Institute as well. So I was able to just pop on a link, and what came back to me was, thank you so much. What do you do?
Yeah.
And so the conversation started, but I don't traditionally have any networking groups that I'm part of. Originally, I was moving down that path. However, COVID came along and changed that. And then, I have a daughter who has extra needs. And so sometimes that takes away from me being able to get out and about like everybody else.
So, yeah, I mean, that definitely has thrown a huge spanner in the works in terms of our physical networking. But the local groups, which we often see, and I've got them in my area and I live regionally, those local groups can be great because you can get a client just through commenting. You don't have to be selling yourself. It's just a conversation that you have online. And
exactly. And most of the local groups are mums groups who are all supporting each other, and I think they're great things to be part of.
Yeah, I agree. So we're going to wrap it up. I just wanted to sort of get your, if you meet someone who's starting up, do you have any kind of words of wisdom or any advice that you would give that person when they're thinking about getting started, and any particular things that they would focus on to get their business started?
I think it's a hard one because there's so many different things, different needs that people need within their business. I think believe in yourself, take the leap, because sometimes getting out of our comfort zone and taking that leap is the best thing that you'll ever do. Starting your own business is a big leap, but when you take it, you're jumping into an unknown world, but it's a world where you learn so much, and sometimes you have to have the fear to keep you going. And I think, don't stop trying, just keep going, because I kind of feel a bit like Dory when I say that. Just keep swimming. But just, it's true. Don't stop. Don't let one no discourage you from getting 100 yeses.
Yeah, I think that is so true, and it's really a long-term business solution once you start to really build, and you get into a bit more of a comfortable space, like once you're over the initial, excuse me, there's a noise there, and another one, the joys of recording live, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So,
authentic.
So exactly, let's be authentic. I think you get into the swing of it and it gets to be a lot more comfortable, but initially, it is a bit like stepping off the edge and wondering, whoa, what's going to happen when I make this leap? But the fact is, and I'm sure it's the same for you, it's low risk.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's just your time.
Yeah.
And I think people, when you hear the no, sometimes they're not actually saying no to you. They're saying no to one of your services. It's not actually a personal thing that they're saying no to. And I think in sales, that was one of the first things I learnt.
Yeah.
Not actually saying no to me. I'm not taking it on board, and you just keep going. And, you're always going to fly. Yeah. When you take that step off the edge, you are going to fly. And it might take you a little bit longer for your wings to work, but you are going to fly.
Oh, I like that analogy. Yes, I like that. That's gold. All right, Toni. Well, thank you so much for your time and for sharing your little bits of wisdom with everybody. We're popping up your website information. So it'll be at the beginning of this VA in the Spotlight interview. And I'm sure Toni would be happy to chat with you. If you have any questions of her, please go to her website and click on the contact button and say hello to her, because she'd love to talk to any aspiring VAs. I know.
Absolutely. One of the things that I love to do. I really love it.
Does it very well. So, all right. Well, have a great afternoon and weekend, Toni. And we will.
Thank you. You too. We'll talk soon.